Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and spirit directly through channeling about what first impression you give to people. And I have 7 groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, this will be group number 4, this will be group number 5, this will be group number 6, and this will be group number 7. And so I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can just pause the video. But if you don't need any more time, then just head down to the description box below and find the timestamp for your reading and click on that, and your reading should appear in front of you. And yeah, I'll see you in your reading. Hello, group number 1. You chose this Waite tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling and then I will shuffle the cards for you. Group number 1. So I'm gonna do the channeling now. So, okay. Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 1? The people who will choose group number 1. What first impression do they make? What first impression do they give off to new people? Strangers that they meet? I'm getting something about you being very kind, or people assume that you're very kind-hearted, very pure, a very pure energy, very empathetic, very soft. There might also be something about your voice that's very soft, so people just assume that you're a very soft person because you're very soft-spoken. And people also tend to believe that you have like very great values, and I think you do. So I think it is very much in alignment with who you are, because I feel like the first impression is not far-fetched. Like I think you are a very kind person, and people notice that right away, that you're a very soft person, very empathetic, very sensitive in a good way. Like you're sensitive to people, like you don't want to hurt people by saying something that could potentially hurt them. Like you try not to be offensive, you try not to cross people, you try to be friends with everyone. Like you don't want to form any enemies. Like you don't, it doesn't seem like something you would do just for fun. Like I think you enjoy being on good terms with everyone, and yeah, and people notice that right away. That I also am picking up on something about you being very believable. Like people believe what you say. People assume that you tell the truth. They don't take you for a liar. Like they don't think you would lie about something or oversell something or brag about something if it's not something you've done, or like they know that you're telling the truth. I'm gonna shuffle the cards and see what the cards have to say about, with the Five of Wands reversed. People see you as someone who's not, you're not looking for a conflict. You're like you're more of a peacemaker. Like you try to solve the issues that you face, like, and maybe also other people's issues. Like if people are getting into a fight with each other over something stupid, you might be the type of person who butts into that conversation and tries to eliminate all the misunderstandings. Like if you can try to get a hold of the situation, you do. Like you. So I think people also, like, the first impression you give people is someone who's a good mediator, someone who's a good a good diplomat. Like you can make people like you can help people become friends again, like people who have lost contact to each other. You might be the type of person who could help people get close again, or get to communicate again. You might be very good at just communicating. You might have good conversational skills. You could be a very good journalist or an interviewer if you wanted to a job in that sort of field. I think people maybe people actually assume that you're either like that you're a journalist when they meet you, because you give off some kind of journalist vibe. So I'm gonna shuffle some more cards and see what type of person do people assume you are when they meet you. What's their first impression of you? Okay, so with Knight of Wands reversed, I think people see you at first as someone who, it's not like you're not you're maybe not the flirty type. Like you don't make a move on anyone you see. Like you don't. People might feel like you're not like you're not interested in them, like in a sexual way. Like when people meet you, like when you go on a date, and like that's the first impression you give, is that maybe the other person that you're on a date with, like if, for instance, don't really feel like you're into them at first. Like and people might also get that vibe from you generally, that you're not sexually interested in them at first, that you seem interested in a different way, like that you might be the type of person who friend zones the other sex like right away. Like when you first meet them, you tend to get really friendly very quickly, but not flirty. So, and that's also the Two of Cups reversed is also the same indication, that people see you as maybe not the most romantic type, very friendly, very kind, but not like you're not hitting on people, and you're keeping it very respectful, and yeah. Maybe you're also a bit watchful, because maybe you have been accused of flirting with people in the past, and so maybe someone has told you that you were leading them on, or that you sent the wrong signals or something. And so maybe now you're more watchful of the signals that you send, and maybe you have kind of gone to extremes in order to not send out any signals to people. So now you might come across as very respectable or respecting of others, and very, like in a like that you don't try to cross over to flirting, that you try very hard to stay friendly, and not send some sexual energy to people that you're not interested in that way. With the Two of Wands, I think people see you as someone who is, like, right away they see you as someone who's a planner, someone who doesn't really want to be where you are, and that could be like on a broad spectrum, or like on a broad scale. I mean, or on a more narrow scale. It could be that people assume that you're not very happy with your job, that you would rather have a different job, or people might see you as a dreamer, so you dream maybe for a better job than the job that you have, or that you wish for a brighter future than you already than your present moment, but that could be, but I'm also sensing that this could be that people's first impression of you is that, like, when they see you at a party or at some kind of social event, they might see you as the type of person who would rather have stayed at home, that it feels like you were kind of persuaded into going, like you didn't really want to go, but now you're here and you're gonna get the most out of it, but you really don't want to, though. Like, you would rather be at home watching Netflix or something. And people can tell that a bit right away, that maybe you're not the biggest fan of whatever. Like, I feel like if you went to a concert, people would be able to tell that maybe you're not really that big of a fan of the band that you're at a concert with. Like, that it was more like you had to because your friends bought the tickets and so you had to go or something. So people can kind of tell that, well, you would rather spend your time doing something different. With Page of Wands, I think people see you as a dreamer, though, also. Like, especially those of you, like when those where this is not like the first impression, but like the first conversation you have with people. When you have like the first conversation with people, or a longer conversation with people, they might pick up on the dreamer side of you, where you might even be you might be good at telling people, telling strangers that you've just met about your dreams of the future, what you would like to accomplish in your lifetime. Like, you might tell people things that are maybe 30 years into the future or something, but you tell it anyways because that's your goal. That's what you see in front of you. You might be very good at planning. You might have a very fastened vision of the future, or something. I don't know. I think also people see you as someone who has big ideas. Like you don't limit yourself when it comes to thinking of goals for the future. You think big. You're not afraid of telling people that. Also, there is something about poetry, or maybe people pick up on you being very lyrical in the way you speak. Like it seems like when you speak, it's like music, or you just have a way with words that just makes people assume that you want a career in writing or poetry or something like that. Or in theater or acting or something. Something where you make words come to life. Maybe through music as well. So yeah. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 1. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose this Waite tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle these cards for you. So I'm gonna do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 2? What first impression do they give off to people? What's people's first impression of group number 2? I'm getting something about tender-hearted, loving, caring, nurturing. I feel like people see you as nurturing, or get the vibe that you're a very nurturing, caring person. There's something motherly about you, or fatherly if you're a man. Something very like people trust you. People trust you with their problems, like instantly. Like when they meet you, they like, and this is the first conversation that people have with you. Like it's the first impression that so it's the very first conversation, and somehow people trust you enough to actually tell you very personal information about themselves in the first conversation that they have with you, where you're literally a stranger to them, but somehow there's something about you that makes them want to open up to you instantly, like because you remind them of a mother, someone they can just go to with their deepest, darkest secrets, like and I don't know if you can actually do that to a mother, but not all mothers, I guess. But like, but people do feel like they can trust you with information, and very sensitive information as well. So it's yeah. People also just I feel like people. You have a face where, like, there's something about your face that makes people like feel like you're very familiar to them. Like people constantly get reminded of someone else when they see you. Like you remind them of someone else. You have a very familiar face, or something, like, and this is not just one or two people that has felt that way. I feel like a lot of people have kind of thought you looked like someone else, someone they know, I feel like, or or an actor or a singer or someone famous or some. But I just feel like there's something about your face that like people get reminded by someone else, or they think you resemble someone, and it's someone positive. It's someone that people like, and so some of that likability kind of rubs off on you, because when people think you resemble that person, they also think you resemble that person in personality as well, for some reason. So they think you kind of have the same sort of personality. I don't know why, but like I feel like people instantly like you, and it has something to do with you looking like someone else that is very likable, someone who's likable. But people also just find you very likable when they meet you, very lovable, actually. Also, it seems that people who have seen you around children, they notice right away that you're very good around children, very good at communicating with children in a very natural way, where it just seems effortless. So, yeah, I'm gonna shuffle. So, okay, a lot of ace. Okay, there's a lot of aces. 3 aces. So, yeah, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and Ace of Swords. So, from the beginning, like when people meet you, they see you as someone who is likely very people might assume that there's a financial win or something they can get out of talking to you, like that you have something to contribute with. So people might instantly think of you as very good company, and it could be because of finances, and this is maybe more like, there could also be something about your career, like I don't know what kind of career you have, but people might assume it would be good for them to network with you, or like try to get you on board with some kind of project, because having you as a member of a project or a team would be very beneficial for them, and would lead to success. So they see you as kind of a lucky, like a lucky charm in a way, where partnering up with you would lead to very likely success. So people see you as someone who's successful. You can make everything blossom. You can turn anything to gold. So, and I also feel like people want to hang out with you because they feel like that sort of luck that you have could rub off on them, or that you could make them your project. So there might be some people who feel like you could change them. And I feel like this is more people who think of you as a love interest. They might see you as someone who can save them. because you're so loving and caring, and because you have success with making things blossom, maybe in your career, and maybe they assume subconsciously, I think, that you could also make them blossom as you make certain opponents or certain compounds of your career blossom by doing stuff. I don't know. And with Ace of Cups, people have a tendency to fall in love with you very quickly, and it's because you give off this very loving vibe. Like, people see you as loving and caring and nurturing, and people tend to fall in love with that and see that as very beautiful qualities, very good qualities in a, like, people see you as wife material, or husband material if you're a man. And people just see you as very loving, very filled with emotions in a good way, where it's not that you're overly emotional, but you seem very empathetic, very sympathetic, very like you show off very very fitting emotions. Like you know when to be sad on someone's behalf. You know when to laugh when people make a joke. You know when to be serious. You know when to hug someone. You know when to like, you just seem to know the right response always. And with Ace of Swords, I feel like people, like, when the first impression people get of you is someone who's very smart. Like, you could teach them something. They feel like if they became friends or got in a relationship with you, or just networked with you, or teamed up with you, partnered up with you, something like that, they just know that they would get something out of it. They would learn something, because people get the feeling right away that you're a very interesting person, with a lot to give, a lot to teach, someone who has a lot of experience, and so, yeah. With Three of Wands, I think people, like, when they first meet you, they see you as someone who's going places. Like, you're not gonna stay where you are for long, because right at the next corner there's gonna be a big opportunity for you. So people feel like when they meet you, they just, like, they know it's not gonna be for long. They know that they have to kind of grab the opportunity to talk to you now, because they don't know when the next opportunity is going to present itself. Like, so they know that they have to kind of move quickly. So I'm gonna shuffle a bit more and to see what people's first impression is of you. Okay, so there is also another side of you that not a lot of people get to see, because I feel like this is more this is what most people see, and it's only positive, and like, people just see you as like this great person, that they would really, really much want to get to know more. Like, people don't settle for just one conversation with you. Like, they want to come back to get some more of you. So that is what most people feel when they meet you the first time. But there are some people who see a bit of a different side of you, that's more insecure and anxious, and more hurt and broken-hearted. Maybe you have opened up to a few people, like a few strangers in your life, where the first conversation you dared to tell them something very difficult that happened in your life. And so these few people see the deeper side of you, that you have depth to you. You're not just rainbows and unicorns and like all this. Like, you're actually someone who has been through a dark path once, or like have been caged into something that you weren't like something maybe against your will, or like something happened that you weren't in control over. And I think I think some people get to see this part, but they also see that part as well. But they just know a bit more of the other side of the coin. But mostly people just see you as like this great person that can just like that like is a treasure, like someone like so people have a very positive view on you when they meet you first. So, and even those who met this version of you still have a good view on you, just a more deep one, like that they got to see a deeper side of you. And that is like, I don't think these people saw that as a bad thing. I actually think they liked to see a different side of you, so that it's not so picture perfect, because this is a bit of a perfect energy. Like, people see you as this perfect person, and so I think people like to actually see more of these darker sides of you, so that so that you seem more human in some way. But that's all I have for you, group number 2. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose this Waite tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle these cards here. And so I'm going to do the channeling now. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 3? The people who will choose group number 3. What impression do they make? What first impression do they make on people? Group number 3. Okay, so there's something about the way you laugh that people really find very cute and endearing. Like it's very infectious, very people just get in a very good mood when they hear you laugh. And I also feel like people fall in love with you when they hear you laugh the first time, because there's just something about the way you laugh that's just very. It's a very good sound. It's a very very pleasant sound, and yeah. And people also just like, there's something about the way you look. You look very like, if you're a woman, you have this the girl next door kind of look, or that's how people see you the first time that like, you have this, like, you're beautiful, but you're beautiful in a way that's very welcoming. Like, people feel very like very welcomed by your face. Like, there's something about your eyes that are very like they draw people in and make people like get captured in your eyes and get inside your eyes and want to stay there and want to make a little home there inside your house and like just sit there and inside your. It makes no sense, but people just want, like, people. You might be very good at eye contact because people seem to be very captivated by your eyes and want to just be inside your eyes all the time in some strange way. But I don't know. You might have very blue eyes, or just something about your eyes, maybe just very big eyes. But people just get very like that, and your laugh is something that really draws people in. Like, people get interested instantly because of your eyes and your laughter. I'm gonna shuffle now and see. Okay, so a bit. Okay, so that's something. Okay, so people. The first impression people get of you is that you have a great laugh, and you have these very captivating eyes, and but people find it like you're. What's it like? You're like one of those what's it called, the mermaids who kind of who sings serenades or to the fishermen and kind of lures them in and then kill them. But they lure them in with this beautiful sound, and maybe that's the laughter or something, or the way that maybe you have a voice that's very, very pleasant and very nice to listen to, or maybe you also have a very good singing voice. But for some reason, people might see you as trouble in some, like, you're. Not that you're troubled, even though maybe some people might assume that, but I feel like people see you as trouble, that it's trouble to engage with you because you're one of those who, like, you're the Yoko Ono who could break up the band, or you're like, there's something about you that seems a bit frightening to people because they feel like you have some kind of power to like that you have some kind of power, like a power of charming people, maybe also like spellbinding people, like you're very charismatic, and maybe some people, like when they meet you the first time, they might feel like you're doing something, like, and that's maybe something they feel instantly, that you have put some kind of spell on them, because it's like, and I've felt that way about one person in my life, and this was a bit strange, because I don't think this person was doing anything, but I felt it was a bit strange that, like, from the very first time I met this person, I noticed that when I was around this person, my mind got like I couldn't. I felt like my mind was silent. Like I wasn't getting any psychic stuff. I wasn't getting all the normal pop-ups like I get, and those pop-ups are a bit annoying when you're a psychic, like when you go around and you get these pop-ups. It is like on a computer when you're like constantly getting ads and you always have to close them, and it can be exhausting. But when you feel like when you feel like your mind goes silent as a psychic person, it's a bit scary. It's like you don't. I didn't like it. I felt like it was, but I noticed that it only happened when I was around this one person, and it made me think, like, hold on, like, is this person doing something, like, or like, why does this happen, like, what's going on, like, something fishy is going on, and I don't know what it is, but it seems like my powers don't work when I'm around this person. This person is kryptonite. What is wrong? Like, what is this? I don't know. But this person, like, you might have that type of effect on maybe one person around you, or someone might have thought that as their first impression of you, that somehow their mind got silent when they were around you, and that it was a bit fishy. And it might not be something you're doing. Maybe it's something the spirit is doing. Something that the thing that is binding us all together. It might make certain like, I don't know, but that might be the effect that you have on a few people in your life, and they might have noticed that from the get-go. The first time they met you, they felt like their mind got silent around you, and that it was a bit weird. But so with 8 of Swords, I think people might, like, when they first met you, they might have felt that you were a bit difficult to get to know, that you had this mysterious vibe to you, that, like, it didn't seem like even though you have something about you that's very, I feel like very direct, like you have a direct way of communicating, but it's like people don't, like people seem to be a bit, like they don't really know if all you say is true. Not like you're lying or something, but maybe people feel like when you say that you're fine, or that you're okay, or like if you tell something about the past, something you like if you meet some stranger and start talking to that stranger and you start telling them about your life, you might tell them about some hard things that you went through in your childhood with a smile on your face, like where people might feel like, oh, this person is saying that she or he is okay, but it doesn't, like, how can this person be okay? Like, is it just a facade? Is it just a way of like putting up a front, and maybe it's like, I feel like people don't really believe you when you say that you're okay or that you're fine and everything, that it wasn't that bad, or your childhood wasn't that bad. You just had like alcoholic parents and it was all chaos, but it was fine. Like it was okay. Like people might not buy it. So yeah, I think that's more the I feel like that's more what I'm getting from these cards, is that it's like people see you as a phony, but it's not the phony that you think it is. Like it's not, they see you as someone who is more hiding your feelings and hiding who you truly are, and maybe that sometimes that you're maybe also sitting on a treasure that you're not sharing with anyone. And like maybe when you talk about things like your interests or your hobbies, you might not tell people what you're actually passionate about. You might tell people other things, and then people might realize afterwards that you actually have different hobbies. Maybe by going through your social media, they might realize that you're painting all the time and you're always posting pictures of your paintings, and you never actually said that to them. Like when you first met them, you didn't say anything about that. And so maybe people feel like the things that you say are maybe not in alignment with the things that you do, or something like that. With Nine of Swords, I think people I think people see you as someone who is acting a bit like you're always having fun, and like you laugh, and like when you are around people you might put this brave face on, and you might make jokes all the time and use humor as a coping mechanism or something. Like you might you always seem to be very fun and light and bright, and like you're and people notice that right away, like when they first meet you, that you're maybe that something about the way you laugh, like it seems a bit fake, like that it's that you're forcing yourself to laugh and have fun, and that it seems like you're maybe the type of person who goes out and laughs and has fun, and then you go home and cry, like or something. Not necessarily that dramatic, but that you have this duality to you, and that it shines through even at the first impression. That people can tell that there is more to this. That it's not all what it looks like, yeah. And with 10 of Swords, people see you as someone who has been people notice in right away that you have been through something difficult, that you have been hurt. Maybe people can tell, like, I don't know how they can tell by the first impression, but maybe you are good at telling people about what you've been through, or maybe there's just something about you that kind of gives it away. Like if you walk around with a T-shirt saying "fuck life" or I hate life, or I hate people, or don't talk to me, or go away, or something on your T-shirt. If you do that, that might give it away. I don't know, but if it's not that, maybe it's something more subtle. But maybe you have dyed your hair black, and maybe you wear a lot of dark makeup, and maybe that makes people think, oh, that you're goth. So you must have had some difficult things that you've been through, some or something. I don't know. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 3. I hope this reading was enjoyable and maybe helpful. I don't know. If you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose this Miss Cleo's Tarot Power Deck. And I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle these cards for you, group number 4. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 4? The people who will choose group number 4. What first impression do they give off to people? I'm getting something about sophistication. People take you for someone who's very sophisticated. I think there's also something about your movements that are very, very like sophisticated, or like the way, it's just something about you, some kind of vibe that you give off, very classy. Also, it could have something to do with the way you dress. You might dress in a very sophisticated way, maybe in suits or in like something like that. Jackets, long jackets, and like long trench coats, or something like that. There's just something very sophisticated, very like you seem to be the type of person who knows stuff because of the way you dress. In some, like, you give off an intelligent vibe as well. That, like, maybe you also wear glasses, and people just assume that you're very book smart because of your glasses. Because people who don't wear glasses, they don't read books. So logic. But I'm gonna shuffle the cards and see what the cards have to say. about you. Group number 4. The Devil. Okay, so it could be Capricorn. You could have Capricorn energy. And Capricorn energy is kind of this, it is very classy and sophisticated. It is very like down to earth in a good way, but also people might see you as someone who spends a lot of money on clothes and superficial stuff, to the point where like people might see you as someone who's a bit materialistic. They expect you to have money because of the way you dress. So the first impression people get from you is that you have the means to buy the clothes that you have, and then that must mean that you have a good income, or that you come from a family with money. So with 7 of Wands reversed, people might I think people see you as someone who's not competing against others, like you're not like, or maybe you have been in some kind of competition, or like maybe you have recently been to some kind of event or a party where there was some kind of competition going on, some kind of game that people were playing, and you might have said that you didn't want to have anything to do with it, or that you didn't want to participate because you didn't really care. Maybe it was a drinking game or something that people were playing at a party, and you kind of said like you just want to drink, like you don't want to. You don't need a game to make you drink. Like it's gonna happen on its own, and so maybe the people at the party, they got the first impression of you as someone who is not competitive, like you're someone who doesn't enjoy games. Maybe you have been playing a board game with people recently, and you might have said like you don't really care about winning. Like it doesn't really mean anything if you win or lose, because who cares really? Like what's in it for you to win even? Like so people might have seen you as someone who's not a gamer type or gaming type, not a gambler either. Like someone who's more like you just want to have a good time. You don't really want to play some kind of game where you have to learn the rules first and stuff like that. Like time is a bit too short for that sort of thing. And maybe you said that at a party or some people picked up on that you are not the type of person who likes to play games, and people might also have noticed that like you don't want to like you don't try to impress people, like you're not trying to impress people with trivia and like trivia knowledge and stuff like that. Like you'd rather just have a good time with people. You don't really have to like show off or something. Like maybe yeah. And with 6 of Pentacles, I think people see you as someone who's giving, philanthropical, someone who like maybe they also felt that way in the competition thing. Like maybe you were playing for money, and maybe you said like you don't really care. Like you might have put some money into some kind of pile, and then the winner would get the pile of money, and you said like, oh, count me out because I don't really care, like or something. And maybe you went to some kind of party where you bought some drinks for some people, or maybe bought the cab fare home or something to and I think that gesture has made some people feel like you're a very giving person, very generous person. I'm gonna shuffle some more cards. And see what the cards have to say about what the first impression that people get of group number 4. Okay, that's a bit too many cards. Okay. So with Ace of Cups and reversed and 3 of Wands upright. With Ace of Cups reversed, I think people people's first impression of you might be that you're not the most emotional person in the world. Like you might not be that like you might not think that like I think people might feel like you're not the most sensitive person. Like you might make some offensive jokes sometimes. You might and people feel like it's. I feel like this divides people into 2 groups. Like some people find this very delightful, that you dare to make jokes that some other people wouldn't dare to make because, oh, that could be offensive or that could hurt some people. Or but you dare to make them anyways. And so some people, like, they root you on and say like, you go girl, or if you're a girl, or if you're a man, then yeah, you go man. Other people might feel like you're a bit too offensive sometimes, and that you should be more watchful of your words, because they can hurt some people. And yeah, and some people might get a bit afraid, like when on your behalf, like they get like they get nervous on your behalf, because they are like, oh, did you really just say that? Like, oh, you're gonna get a shit storm now, or something. But you never actually do, because I think you can kind of get away with saying these things, because people don't really. I feel like people don't actually get mad at you, but people who actually are not the butt of the joke are kind of like get kind of stiff when you make a joke about some people or something that you find a bit silly or something. Then other people kind of get nervous on your behalf and feel like, oh, you shouldn't have said that, because maybe you're gonna hurt someone or something. But it's never really the people that you hurt that actually get hurt, because you have some kind of, like, you can get away with it somehow. It also kind of all comes down to the quality of the joke. Like if you say a joke that's really, really funny, but also offensive, you're gonna get a pass. But if you make a very, very bad joke that's offensive, you're not gonna get a pass on that. Like, people are gonna point that out to you, that you shouldn't have said that. So it really comes down to the quality. And I feel like you can actually make quality jokes. So 3 of Wands, people's first impression of you is that you're someone who's going places. You're someone who is likely gonna shoot for the stars. Like, people can tell that you have this it factor. You have a likability to you. You have this a star quality. You seem to be someone who could have your own talk show or your something, because there's something about your personality that's very captivating. Also something about your character. Like, you seem to already have this character, like in the way you dress and the way you present yourself. Like, it's like you already are like television material. Like, you seem to already like, people feel like you've already created your own character, that you're maybe playing a bit, but in a way that's actually not. It's not a bad thing that you're playing a character. People kind of like it, so they don't really see it as fake. They see it more as a portrayal of yourself, like you're creating some kind of persona that is very true to yourself in a way, but still a bit more of a exaggerated version of yourself, but in a good way. I don't know what this is about, but I'm just rambling. But yeah, but that is all I have for you, group number 4. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And please get one, because I think you're very amusing, and I would probably be very amused by making a video for you, a personal reading for you. So, but yeah, but have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 5. You chose this Medicine Woman tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you, group number 5. So I'm gonna do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 5, the people who will choose group number 5? What first impression do they give to people? Okay, I'm getting Aquarius energy, but you don't have to be Aquarius. But I'm getting that people see you as a bit like when people first meet you, they kind of get this vibe that you're from a different planet, like you're not from here, like you're from somewhere else, and it's like you're a bit of a unicorn, or like you're very unique and very special and very strange in a good way, a bit weird in a good way. You have your quirks that people find them very cute, and like there might be something you do. I don't know what it is, but it's something you do. I don't know why, but I'm getting something about a clicking noise or clicking sound that you make. Maybe you make it when you talk. Like you could be yeah, you could do that. Make the sound when you talk. or something, some kind of sound that that if other people did it, it would probably be considered a bit annoying, but in your case, people actually find it very endearing. Like, people think it's very cute, and like it makes you stand out in a positive way. Yeah, 6 of arrows, which is 6 of swords. I think people see you as someone who, like, when they first meet you, they feel a very strong connection with you. People form a connection with you instantly, and it's like people just want to go on a journey with you. People just want to be a part of your world. Like, they want to kind of like be just, yeah, they want to pick your brain and kind of be inside your imagination, because it's like people are very captivated by your imagination, the way you can just make up things just on the spot. Like, you might be very good at improvising, and somehow people have just been fascinated by your fantasy imagination, your way of creative thinking, like thinking creatively, coming up with creative solutions to problems, coming up with ideas to books and movies, and like just brainstorming ideas. Like, for some reason, I feel like a lot of people have done that with you. The first time they met you, just started brainstorming ideas with you, like ideas to movies, ideas to like different ideas to ads, ideas to concepts, ideas to different like things, where people just feel like you're very inspiring, and people want to take on people want to go on a journey with you, be part of your life, because they see the way you live your life. It seems also a bit like a fairy tale. There might be something that you do, or it might have something to do with your living situation. Like, if you live in a commune or something, or in a kibbutz or something, then maybe people really just find that like amazing and interesting, and they want to be a part of that, because they think that, like, they hear you talk about it, and the way you talk about it makes them feel like that's such a great experience, something they would want to experience themselves. Maybe you have also talked to people about traveling, like maybe you went backpacking through Europe, or maybe you went on Interrail or something, and maybe you have talked to strangers about that experience. Like, when you first meet people, you might that might be a topic that comes up in the first conversation that you've had with people, and maybe people just want to travel with you because it sounds like you're very fun to travel with, because you might also have had a lot of experiences while traveling that you can share with people, like stories that you have from your travels, and yeah. With Dancer reversed, people might have noticed first, as people's first impression of you, like might be that you're not a dancer, or maybe some people have seen you dance the first time they met you. They might have seen you at a party, and you might have danced, and maybe you're not very good at dancing, and maybe you know that very well and are completely aware of it, and maybe you just do it for fun, really, and maybe you even exaggerate the bad moves just for the fun of it, and you don't really care what people think. And I think people have noticed that this is also the world, and it's reversed. And the world is about endings. It's about something. It's about completion. When it's reversed, it might indicate the opposite of that, and that maybe people get the first impression of you that you're maybe not someone who's good at completing things, that you're good at starting things, like you're good at coming up with new ideas, great, interesting ideas, like you can just brainstorm ideas for books and movies, and like things that would be great for what like a great business idea, and like you can just come up with it on the spot, like and people might feel like you're the type of person who's very good at coming up with ideas, not very good at executing them or completing them. You might have a lot of different projects going on all the time, and you might not have finished any of them, but you have them all going at once, and you are working on them, but you're just not completing any of them. Maybe because there are so many, and so you will complete them at some point, but when you're constantly trying to even it out and like give as much attention to all of your projects at once, like give them equal attention, you're of course not going to finish them all, like because you could maybe finish one of the projects if you focused all your attention on just one project, then you could finish it quickly. But since you choose to broaden your attention and put your attention to different things at once, of course you're not. Of course, it takes more time to finish them. But yeah, people might see you as someone who's not good at completing stuff. Maybe you have also told people that you dropped out of the university or something, or that you dropped out of, or that you quit your job, and that or something, and people might assume that you're someone who doesn't see things through. Yeah, gotta shuffle a bit more to see what people think of you as a first impression. 9 of Pipes, which is 9 of Wands. So people see you as someone who has gone through a lot of challenges. Like you're very good at putting out fires, because you've put out a lot of fires in your life. I think you might be the type of person who kind of gets yourself into trouble sometimes. Like maybe you procrastinate sometimes. Like maybe when you were studying, you procrastinated your essays and your assignments to the last minute, and then you might have even like not got, maybe you didn't finish before the deadline because you procrastinated. Like you could have made it, but you didn't, because you kind of put yourself in the situation where you couldn't finish it, and so you put yourself in trouble by not just starting early. And so that's kind of a fire but you might be good at putting out fires like that, like where you know what to do when you cross a deadline, like, and you know who to talk to, or like like you might have learned from experience that there are maybe some ways around the rules, or like that you can kind of that you can get away with it anyways, and maybe you've figured out ways to get away with things, or ways to kind of get out of tricky situations or something. And maybe people can tell that, like, maybe you were kicked out of school, but then you kind of got your way into the school again by talking to the principal or talking to someone, and then you got back into your classes again or something. And maybe you've talked about that to strangers or people you've met, like talked about how, oh, you got into school again, but you were actually kicked out, but you talked to the principal, and then like, and people see you as like someone who knows how to get away with stuff, who knows how to navigate the game, or the bureaucratic game. Like you can kind of do your magic and kind of somehow find a way out of the, I don't know. I feel like also people see you as a free spirit, like you're not someone who plays by the rules. You make your own rules, or you try to kind of find, like, it seems like people see you as someone who's more like you question the rules, in like you don't just follow rules blindly, especially rules that don't make sense to you. You have a very logical mind, I feel like, and so you see sometimes how, like, you can address certain issues that are often in bureaucracy, that it's usually something like it's usually not intuitive. It doesn't make sense. Like it's often there are rules that only exist because of the rule. Like the rule then like mates and creates another rule, and then that rule mates and like and then suddenly there's all these baby rules that really don't make sense unless the other rules exist, and the other rules are like, I don't know, but there could be something more. But that you can see past the like you can see what's wrong with the system, and I think people notice that right away, that you have a like you can see through the bullshit. You can notice what's wrong with society, what's wrong with a system, a smaller system, or like the school system, or the law system, or the like you can see a justice system. I mean, but you can see the problem there, the thing that needs to change in order to make it work, and I also think you're good. Like I think that might also have come from you being very good at seeing how you can cut corners, and how you can actually dodge some kind of unnecessary rule by actually just communicating with the with the people who made the rule, or just communicating with the office at the school. Like if there's some kind of rule, you might have noticed that it's actually not that hard to dodge the rule if you just, because it's just people. Like we sometimes forget that like the system is not just like it is just a lot of people just like it is mostly just to make people's job easier, and it's not necessarily there just to I don't know, but that's enough. But I feel like that's what people like. The first impression people get of you is that you are very good at like seeing the forest for trees, like for bare trees, or like you can see what other people can't see. Like people tend to be so indoctrinated into the system that they don't really realize that the system is faulty. And I think you have that clear sight, clear vision of what's actually working and what's not working. And I think you're very good at also voicing your opinions on that to people when you first meet them. And people are very entertained and fascinated by your insights on what you think about the system and society and stuff like that. But yeah, that's all I have for you. Group number 5. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 6. You chose this Cirque du Tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle these cards for you. So, okay, I'm going to do the channeling now. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 6? The people who will choose group number 6, what first impression do they give to people? I am getting consistency, you seem to be very consistent. Like this could be something that people pick up on, like when they talk to you, that you're maybe a bit stubborn in your opinions. But this could also this also makes me think of someone who's very good at keeping a conversation going. And picking up the thread if it gets lost. Like if you talk to someone and that person gets interrupted by someone who's rude, you might be very good at picking up the conversation again and like ask that person, oh, what were you talking about before you got interrupted? And I want to know more about that. Like, can you please continue what you were talking about before? And you might be good at kind of also sticking up for the person who, for the people who don't have the balls to stick up for themselves. Like the people who might not say anything if they get interrupted, like they just get quiet and kind of just lets it go, but you're maybe more keen on confronting people and saying like that wasn't okay, and or just doing it indirectly by asking people like, what were you saying before you got interrupted? Or can you please continue what you were saying before you got interrupted, or something like that. And I think people notice that right away, that you're very good at keeping track on what people were saying, especially those who are a bit shy, because I think it really annoys you to the core of your being when a shy person who has really gathered all their energy, and because it's when a very shy person starts saying something, you know that they have been gathering the strength to do that for a long time. It's not just something that happens spontaneously. This person actually has needed a lot of strength to do that. And so when you hear a shy person talk, you get really happy, and you really want to hear what this person has to say, and you know it's going to be good because it's something they have been sitting on for a while, because you know this is the type of person who thinks before they speak, and so you really want to pay careful attention to what they have to say. And so when someone very outspoken, very extroverted, then interrupts a shy person, I think you get really, really mad, and you can't really sit on that, because you can't really just let that go, because you feel like it's a bit of a crime to do that. You can't really get away with that. And so I think you're good at addressing situations like that in a civil way, but where you make it known to the person who interrupted that was not okay. So. And I'm gonna shuffle now, so see what the cards have to say about what people what first impression you give people. Okay, so with the 3 of Pentacles, people find you very, very smart. People put you up on a pedestal. People see you as someone very respectable, very honorable. People look up to you. People see you as someone like a big brother, big sister type of energy. Someone that people look up to, and they kind of want to be you, they want to be like you. I think people worship you in a way where they not in a but in a way where a little sibling worships a big sibling, that sort of energy where I think people really want to be like you, and kind of mimic some of your mannerisms and stuff like that. And also people just see you as someone who's very smart, and you know a lot. People feel like they can learn a lot from you, and people might be a bit intimidated by you, when they first meet you, because they see you also as someone who has a moral high ground. You're this, kind of like Big Brother watching you, because you notice people in a way where people know that you see them, and you see through them, and you know what they are thinking, and you know what's up, and you know what they are trying to do. If someone is trying to be manipulative or lying or something in your presence, you know, and they know that you know. And I feel like some people are intimidated by that, because they know that you can see them, and you're that person in the crowd that is a bit you're not overly talkative, like you kind of keep your cards a bit close to your body. You don't say like you don't. You are also the type of person who thinks before you speak, and you. And so sometimes you get a bit quiet in a crowd, but you're still very much present, because even though you're quiet, people can tell exactly what you're thinking also, because it kind of is written on your face. Like they can tell, like if they say something stupid, they look at you and they know that you thought it was stupid, even though you don't say anything, even though you're not voicing your opinion, you're not saying like that was dumb. But your face is kind of like, yeah, they can tell on your your face that you find them a bit stupid, or that something that you find that you don't agree with them, like, because your face is very telling, and so that's like, people get a bit anxious around you, because like they know that you're a lot smarter than them, and the fact that you don't say that to people, or you don't point it out when people are being silly or being stupid or being or just talking nonsense, like really, you don't say it, and that even makes it like that makes it even more intimidating, because then people don't know what you're actually thinking. Like they don't know, but then sometimes they know, because sometimes you voice your opinion, but it's mostly when you're taking on the moral high ground. Like if someone says something offensive, you might be quite quick to point that out, that maybe they shouldn't, in a way where people actually respect your opinion. Like it's not like they feel like, oh, you're just so sensitive. Like they can tell that, like, you're not sensitive, you're more like the father who is like disappointed, like you can do better, like that's beneath you, like that sort of energy. So when you actually say something to people about, like, that they shouldn't have said something, or that they shouldn't have done that or something, people listen to you. People actually respect you and respect your opinion, and actually wants to do better. Like they want to do right by you and by others, and want to change. They want to become a better version of themselves because of you, because of because of you pointing that out to them, that they should be. And I think people listen to you. You have some kind of ability to make people listen. So yeah, I'm gonna shuffle some more cards about the first impression you give to people. Four of Pentacles reversed. So I think people see you as someone who's very generous with your means, with your money, but also with your time. Like I think people feel like you give people you're very generous with your time. You listen to people, like you don't interrupt people in the middle of a conversation, because you are generous with your time. Like you don't rush through things, like you don't have anywhere to go, or even if you have somewhere you should be, you don't let that interfere with a good conversation. You would rather just change your plans afterwards or something instead of interrupting something very interesting. You're very good at prioritizing your time and knowing what's most important in life. And I think people notice that you're very generous with your time and energy. Yeah. I'm gonna shuffle some more cards about group number 6, the first impression. 6 of Wands. People look up to you. People see you as someone who is a leader. You could lead people. You could be a very great boss. You could be a very great cult leader as well. You could. Because you have some kind of you have a lot of charisma. You're very good at listening to people, and you're very good at making people feel seen. You see them in a way that other people don't. You see through them. You see their soul. You see past the superficial stuff. You can see who they truly are. And people usually just want to be seen. They want someone to be able to see them for who they are, and so you can contribute with that. You can give that to people, and that is a big gift to give. And people value that. And I think people look up to you because you have that ability, and you seem to be very popular around people, and it is because people see this ability that you have to know who they are without them even telling you about it. You can just see through them and see through the bullshit, see through the front that they put on, and I feel like you can make people cry. You have an ability to get to really cut to the core, cut to the if someone says that they are feeling fine, you might be able to if you ask them are you really how are you really how are you really feeling? It doesn't really you don't really need to ask anything any more than that, but I think that makes people crack. It makes their front crack, and they just show you their true self. People might break down when you do that, and it's not it's not the words, it's you. It's because they know that you see more in them than what they show you. That you can see something that they are not showing other people, and that they are keeping hidden, and you are able to get that out. So yeah. And yeah, people just feel people really think of you as very, very very special, because people feel like you have some kind of power. You have an ability. You have maybe psychic abilities, or you just you know more than other people do. You're this oracle. You're superhuman, and it's yeah. it makes people feel very sensitive and vulnerable around you, because they feel like they can. They feel like it's like you create a safe space for people to be who they truly are. That they feel like they don't have to impress you because you see them for who they are. So they don't have to play games. And games wouldn't work on you. And people can tell that like right away when they meet you, that this is the type of person you are. And so that's very special, and a very special gift to have. And so that's amazing. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 6. I hope this reading was helpful. And if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 7. You chose the Alcohol Tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle these cards for you, group number 7. So I'm gonna do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 7, the people who will choose group number 7? What first impression do they give to people? I feel like people feel there's something about you that's very familiar. So I think people get you confused with someone else. Like you might have a face that is very, like you resemble someone else. Either an actor or a pop star or something, but it could also just be someone else in your community, like someone from your school, or like you just look like someone else, and people get you confused with that person, or might point. I feel like many people point this out to you when they meet you, that you look a lot like Avril Lavigne or Shakira or Beyonce or someone or that girl who plays Wednesday in that new TV show thing on Netflix, or just someone but I feel like you get like people. There might also just be something about you that's just like you have something about you that also maybe belongs in Hollywood or belongs in like the limelight. That you have some kind of star quality to you, that people pick up on instantly. That they think you seem like the type of person who should be in the movies or something. And I am also getting something about chaos. So I don't know if there's something about your energy that is a bit chaotic. Like you might be a bit all over the place sometimes. Like maybe in your mind, maybe you have ADD or something that makes you a bit like scatterbrained, or that sometimes you might go from one thing to another thing, or you might talk very fast. Like when you talk, you might have an accent. So maybe that is also why you talk very fast. Is that maybe you speak English, but maybe you are from Latin America or Spain or somewhere where they speak very fast, and so you might put like that. That might be like people might see that as very like then when you speak English, it sounds very fast to a native English speaker's ears. Like they pick it up like very fast paced. Even though maybe you don't notice that it's fast. Like maybe you just feel like that's just how people speak where you come from, and so that's something you're used to. You might also bob your head a bit when you talk, and people, there's something about your energy that's just very energetic. I feel like, and people notice that you're very you're on speed or something like that. I don't know that you seem like someone who has drank too much coffee or something. That you're very energetic to the point where some people might feel like they can't really keep up with you when you talk. But I'm gonna shuffle 8 of Wands, which is 8 of Cups. I think people might see you as someone who is a bit unhappy with what you're doing. If you're studying or if you're working somewhere, you might talk a lot about how you hate your job or how you hate your studies, or that you would rather do something else, or that it's just a lot of work, or that it's just a lot of that maybe you hate your boss, or maybe you hate your teacher or something, and you might have voiced your unhappiness with your situation to people you just met. And so maybe people feel like that, like when people first meet you, they might get the feeling that you are someone who is difficult to make happy, like that you have high standards to what you're doing, and also to the people around you, that you keep people at high standards, or like you hold high standards to the way that you want to be treated, which is also a good thing. It's good to tell people how you want to be treated so that people don't mistreat you. But some people might assume that you're a bit high maintenance, or that you keep too high standards for people, that you should maybe cut people some slack, or that you're maybe being too hard on people, that you might be nitpicking a bit when you're bickering about something, that, or when you maybe people see you as a perfectionist. That could maybe be the thing, that people, that maybe at your workplace or at your studies, or in school, you might be very perfectionistic, and so when you work in a team with other people, you might be a bit difficult to work with, because you want things to be done perfectly, and maybe some of your other team members are not that perfectionistic, and they just want to kind of get it over with, and you might be a bit difficult sometimes to work with, or that is the first impression people get from you, that that you're a perfectionist, and that you keep a bit high expectations of other people, especially at school, in teams, or at work with your coworkers, and yeah, that you maybe should lower your expectations a bit and let people be a bit dumb sometimes. Like that, it's not really a crime to be unintelligent or have lower IQ than you. Like it's not really a crime. It is just nature, and like some people are just not lucky on that scale, and some people are, and so it comes down to like genetics, and so sometimes some people are just born with a bit less to work with, and it's not their fault. So maybe you should cut people some slack sometimes, and or not expect them to be as like, you can't make like an elephant climb a tree and stuff like that. Like you have to kind of try to see the other qualities that your team members might have, instead of pairing up the qualities that you have with theirs and see how they don't really add up. You could maybe try to see if they might have some other things that they can contribute with than what you're expecting from them. Maybe there are some hidden talents there that you can actually use, and it's just about finding those talents and kind of working them and getting them out. So maybe there is like I don't know, but I'm gonna shuffle a bit more to see what people's first impression is of you. Seven of Spirits, which is Seven of Swords. So I think people see you as very strategic, very smart, very much of a lone runner, lone wolf. So they see you as someone who's very smart, but someone who keeps to yourself. Like you're not very social, maybe a bit introverted, and people assume that you're someone who would rather just stay alone and be by yourself and not be around other people, like that you enjoy your own company, and maybe people also feel like they are interrupting your personal space if they go talk to you, like you give off maybe an energy that you would rather people leave you alone. And like if you sit somewhere with music in your ears, people might get the feeling that okay, it's probably not safe for them to go talk to you because you're probably not gonna be welcoming. So people might be a bit intimidated by you. Like they feel like you give off a very hyper independent energy, where people feel like when they are around you, it's like you would rather they weren't around, and that they feel like they need you more than you need them. Like the balance is a bit off, because like people want to be friends with you, but they can tell that maybe you're not that excited, that it goes the other way around. Like they don't feel like you're excited to be their friend. So there might be something there where people feel like you're not fighting for friendships or relationships. Like you're more the type of person who, like if someone comes up to you and says like they don't want to be your friend anymore, you just like, okay, whatever. Like and And even though that's also a terrible thing to do, like if for someone to just come up randomly and say, "Oh, I don't want to be a friend anymore." But I feel like for some of you, there might have been someone who said that to you, but they did it kind of like a test. Like they wanted to test your reaction and see if you actually cared about them, and then you failed because you didn't. You just said, "Who cares?" Like whatever. If you don't want to be my friend, then don't be my friend. And that wasn't the answer they were hoping for. But again, I don't recommend you being friends with someone who's testing you in that way. So maybe you're better off, really. So I don't know. I'm gonna shuffle some more and see what people. Yeah, with the Chariot, people do see you as someone who can become very successful, very victorious. Like usually the Chariot, like in Rider-Waite and other original decks like Tarot de Marseille, the Chariot is a bit on a podium, and it's like a bit on a stage. And so I think the first impression people get of you is that you belong on a stage, or you belong in the limelight, also as the light is shining on this person, and like it's a spotlight, that you belong in the spotlight. Maybe people also have seen you, like as the first impression, they might have seen you on a stage and seen how you have a very great stage presence, and very good at connecting with an audience, and that you're very natural in front of a camera or something. Yeah, I'm gonna shuffle a bit more and like just to see a bit more if there's a bit more about people's first impression of you. Okay, with Justice here, I think people see you as someone who is fair. When it comes to like maybe some of you are in law school, so this could also have something to do with that. Like people assume that you are very good at law and good at the justice system, and maybe you don't study law, but maybe you just know a lot about the justice system and how it works, and maybe you have some laws memorized, some paragraphs memorized, and so maybe that's something people pick up on like instantly when they talk to you, that you seem to know a lot about like what the penalty is for something, or how many like the difference between something and something, and like I don't know, when it comes to law, that, and you might know a lot of legal terms, but I'm also getting that, and you might speak in legal terms, like casually, like in a casual conversation, you might just wing some legal terms and spread them out, and like, oh yeah, that's actually called something, and that's maybe Latin for something, and I don't know, and you might also speak some Latin, sometimes say some Latin words in a casual conversation. You might also refer to certain authors in a casual conversation. You might quote some philosophers or something. But also, like, you could also, like, people might also see you as a drinker, someone who's fond of drinking and going out at pubs or going out to, like, and maybe you also have, like, a certain knowledge about wine and beers and, like, different types of alcohol, or maybe you used to bartend or something, and so maybe you also know how to mix drinks and stuff. But yeah. But that's all I have for you, group number 7. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye.